Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you all and welcome to the channel. In this video, inshallah, we will cover operators that will be the topic of today's lecture, operators. And what are operators? They are characters that perform a particular operation, hence the term operator. So this will be our topic of discussion for today. But before we begin, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وارض اللهم عنا معهم أجمعين اللهم آمين. We begin in the name of Allah, the most merciful in this life and the hereafter, and we thank Him for all of His blessings that He has bestowed upon us, and we pray that we follow in the footsteps of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his fellow companions. Amen. As we mentioned in the preface or the introduction, operators are characters that perform a particular operation. But here, I do not mean characters from a linguistic sense. In a linguistic sense, a character would be one letter of the alphabet. However, in programming, a character refers to the specialized characters that are not alphanumeric. So a greater than, a less than, a plus sign, a minus sign, and so on and so forth. Now operators, if you create a sentence, operators operate on operands. Operators here is the nominative, the subject of the sentence. Operate is the verb or the action, and operands would be the object here. So I believe this would be a dative, linguistically speaking, not an accusative. Dative because of the preposition on. Yeah, dative, yeah. So whatever action is performed on what is known as an operand. And what performs the operation is the operator. So the provoker of the operation is the operator. The victim of the operation is the operand. So I will leave this here for your reference. Do not worry, we will cover examples inshallah in the upcoming lecture. Today we will just cover the different types of operators. Then in the next lecture, God willing, we will cover the common ones that you will encounter. Then there will be some that we will cover in the object-oriented programming portion. There will be, I believe, one or two that we will not cover in this tutorial, mainly because I am not familiar with them. I would rather be able to teach what I know. I believe it is only one operator. Let us see. Hopefully I do not forget any operators. This is actually the second time I am recording this lecture because I forgot some operators in the previous recording. Oh man. Okay, so let us do this. So I will leave one side for the ones that we will not speak of until later, or the ones that we will not talk about at all. We'll use the left side for that, because as Muslims we are encouraged to use the right side. So let us start with this side and say, so this will be, we have here the class instance operator, and we will cover the operators shortly. I just would like to list these operators before I forget them. Then we have what was it? Method reference operator. the assignment operator, which we actually covered in previous lectures, and you will see how in just a moment. Yep, there we go. Assignment operator. Oh yeah, I'll just put assignment. There we go. Do not worry, this does not mean homework. I am not trying to add to your workload. Okay, I believe that is it. Now we can actually cover what we will take in the upcoming lecture, inshallah. Well, we will cover this too, but you will see why this is not as important as the other operators shortly. Then we have the logical operators, and they are known as logical because they discuss logic. And by logic, it would most likely be, in programming I mean, it would involve true or false. And here is a pop quiz for you, which the variable data type is responsible for true or false. I will give you a moment to think about that. I will try to have prizes for correct answers next time. Okay, so after logical, we have bitwise operators. Then we have shift operators. After that, we have, let us see, the ternary operator, yes. Ternary operator. Then we have the unary operator. And lastly, did I forget anything this time? I do not believe so. I believe I have covered everything. Arithmetic operator. And to return to the answer to the question I asked earlier, it is the Boolean primitive data type. That is the variable responsible for true and false. So logical operators are related to true or false, as are ternary operators. So let us start with class instance. This is known as instance of, and it is written as one word. This is the name of the operator. The definition or the function or the operation of this operator would be as follows. Ascertain if an object is an instance of a class. It may be nonsensical at the moment, but once we start object-oriented programming and we cover classes, hopefully, inshallah, this will be understandable. Then here we have the method reference operator, and that is of this shape, 2 semicolons. What does this operator do? And this is the one I will not cover in this tutorial because I do not know of it. It is only used in particular moments in Java, I believe. Could be in action listeners or event handlers, and I am not well versed in that department. However, if I do gain the necessary knowledge, I can create a lecture just for this operator, bi'idhnillah. Bi'idhnillah is translated as God willing in English, though in Arabic, because Arabic is a more descriptive language than English, Insha'Allah and bi'idhnillah are not the same. They do not have the same connotation as opposed to God willing. So yeah, just in case I did not define it earlier, this is to let's say invoke a method from object. It is basically to call a method, but it is used in particular instances only. Then we have the assignment operator, which we have used in prior lectures, the equal sign. This does not mean the value on the left is equal to the value on the right. It does not mean that in programming, of course. In mathematics, definitely. So here, assign a value to a variable regardless of its data type, whether it is reference or primitive. So the assignment operator takes the operand on the right and stores its value in the variable on the left. Then we have the logical operators. I will not discuss the operators in detail because we will have a lecture for the operators themselves with examples, of course. So do not worry if I am missing any details here. We will cover them later on, inshallah. Now, the logical operators, it is a group of operators. Logical operators are not they are not funneled to a single operator. So I will create a tree diagram. I believe it is called a tree diagram because this is the root. Even in programming or computational engineering, it starts with the root. Maybe the people who started designing computers believe in the Kabbalah and the inverted tree of the Sefirot. Could be, considering how, I guess you could say, famous the Kabbalah is, and Gnosticism in particular. Which started the Kabbalah? Or was it the Kabbalah that started Gnosticism? I do not remember which came first in the timeline, to be quite honest. Okay. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. Okay. Now here, you will probably recognize these operators from logic gates in physics. If you studied that topic, that is, I studied it in high school. You will have these, the 2 ampersands, 2 pipes, I believe. These are called pipes, so one of them is called a pipe, so double pipe. And the exclamation mark. Oh, and it is also red, so it matches the Metal Gear Solid theme. Now, these are the AND operator. This is the NOT operator. So it provokes the complementary value. And this is the OR gate, or the OR operator. And we will cover these in full detail in the upcoming lectures, inshallah. I should note that these two in particular, this one and this one, the double ones, not the single ones, because these are the single ones you will see in just a moment. The double ones, these are known as short circuit operators. So I will type it here, short circuit. And I will place it here as well. So if you read a short circuit operator in a book, for example, or an article, they are referring to these. Okay, now we will cover bitwise operators. They are the same as these, except instead of double, it is single or singular. So This will be problematic. Okay, let us try to organize this. I believe, yep, this would suffice. Okay, so here we will have a singular AND or ampersand, and this is also an AND operator, and here we will have the pipe, and this will be the OR. But we also have one more to add, and thankfully I remembered. We have what I believe is called the cap, which is Shift 6 on the keyboard, this one right here. So this is the AND operator again. This is the OR, and this one here is XOR, which I believe is exclusive OR. That is what it stands for. So these are bitwise. If you are unfamiliar with bit addition and subtraction in a byte, in 1 byte, this may be difficult for you. So to accommodate for that, I will start a new playlist for the numerical systems, inshallah, possibly this weekend. That was my intention to begin with, to cover decimal numbers, octal numbers, binary numbers, and hexadecimal numbers, and how to convert from one to the other. So I will start the binary numbers first to help clarify bitwise operations, especially if you wish to delve into network programming through, for example, packet tracer or any other means. You will need this in subnetting, or was it subnet masking? Subnet masking, yeah. Okay. Then we have shift. The shift operator, also known as the bit shift. It shifts bits, and we will explain these in detail later on. This lecture is mainly designed to show the different types or different classifications of operators. Then the examples come in a different lecture, mainly because I honestly do not have time to record all of the examples in one lecture, unfortunately. Okay, so how will we tackle this? So maybe I can do it like so, or yeah, okay, we'll do this, extend it to here, then like so. Let us see, we have left, shift, right, and complement. So we have 4. Okay, well, since this will not descend that far, we can extend here, 3, and 4. Most likely, at least from my experience, you will not be using bitwise and shift, but I just wanted to mention it to be thorough and cover as much as I can cover in this tutorial. As I mentioned, I am trying to provide a comprehensive tutorial for free, because I myself struggle with Java tutorials, trying to find the guess you could say profound information for free, which is nearly impossible, of course. Let us see. So here we have this operator, the tilde or the tilde. This is how it is written, TLTILDE. This is the name of it. If you are a Linux user, you will be intimately familiar with this, or a get bash user, either or. Perhaps I can move these. Let me see. There we go. Oh, perfect. Then we can replace this and drag it here, and voila. Oh, I believe, yeah, there we go. Okay, push this here. This is used for complements. Well, actually, yeah, we will cover it later on, do not worry. Then we have left shift. This is known as the left shift. This is known as signed right shift, and this is unsigned right shift. Actually, I'll write the titles below. So this is left shift. This is signed right shift. Pull this up here. And this one is, let me make some arrangements. Push this here, and then here, like so, and then push this like so. Perfect. And this is unsigned. Oh, I did not. This is unsigned right shift. What does signed and unsigned mean? Means signed if the number has a negative before it. If it is a negative number, you will use this for the operation. If the operand is signed, has a negative before it, then you will use this. If the number or the operand is positive, you will use this for the shift. And I might as well write here complement, if I am able to fit this word in here somehow. Yeah, leave it here like so, and I'll just draw an arrow there. Okay, the ternary operator, it is called ternary because it has 3 operands. Ternary means 3, so it has 3 operands, that is why, and it is as such. Of course, the first operand comes before the question mark, the second operand comes after the question mark, and the third comes after the colon. But I will leave these here for now. And the purpose or the function of this operator is, it is an if statement, a macro or a shortcut for an if statement. Though there are certain restrictions you will see soon. But this is an abbreviated, let us say abbreviated if statement, or syncopated if statement, or truncated if statement, however you wish to label it. The unary operator is called unary because of unos, which is Latin for 1, and then the subdialects of Latin have that too, such as French and what was it, Spanish, I believe also Portuguese, if I recall correctly. They only have 1 operand, hence the term unary. And these are, if a number is negative, that would be 1. If you would like to increment a number or decrement a number. Actually, let me delete this, and I will draw a branch or a tree diagram. Okay, so like so, like so. Okay. Now, if you would like to write a number that is negative, you will add a negative before it. So that is a unary operator because the operand is singular, which is the negative number itself. This also applies if you'd like to write a positive number, though it is redundant, of course, if you write a positive number, plus before a positive number, such as +8, for example. Then we have the incrementation and decrementation operator, which is 2 pluses or 2 minuses. And I feel in this background, the plus here, it looks like it looks as if it is the flag of England. So this one, this is called the incrementation operator. Like so. And this is the decrementation operator. So if you'd like to decrement a value by 1 or increment a value by 1, you use these two, and we will discuss the differences between a prefix and a postfix. Okay, let me rearrange these. Take this, put it here, take this, put it here. There, that way I have some room to place these. Push this here a bit and push this here a bit. And I will deselect the transparency. There we go. Okay. Perhaps I should use arrows just for clarification purposes. Okay. Okay, now we will create this arrow and create this arrow. There we go. Okay. Lastly, we have the arithmetic operators, and we will end today's lecture with that. So I will scroll here and possibly drag it like so. And there we go. Okay. Possibly longer. I think I will need the space. Okay, there we go. Okay, now we will have, so let us say we have addition, we have subtraction, we have multiplication, we have division, and finally modulus. Okay, so the arithmetic operator for addition is the plus. You have an operand on its left and an operand on its right. For subtraction, minus. For multiplication, it is the asterisk, not to be confused with the Belgian comic, which was the X symbol, not the Mega Man X character, the X symbol that we used in mathematics. Then we have division. So that division is normally this shape, but you cannot write this shape, or this character does not exist on the keyboard. So it will be the fraction character. So 1/2, for example. This is available on the keyboard, which is the /, like so. And lastly, we have the remainder operator, or the modulus operator. If you have an operation of division, but you are only interested in obtaining the remainder rather than the quotient, you will use the percent sign. So let us write the names here. Okay. Addition, subtraction, multiplication. And once we start with the arithmetic operators in the upcoming lecture, inshallah, I will also provide you with a sheet that shows you the order of precedence, similar to BIDMAS or BODMAS in mathematics, but with respect to programming, of course. And lastly is modulus or modulo or modular. I heard all three terms being used for representing this. And I believe that is it. I hope I did not forget anything this time. And that is it for this lecture. If I did forget any operators, please notify me in the comments below so that we can all learn from the valuable information. And we always learn from failure, we never learn from success. I hope this lecture was helpful and beneficial to you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, take care, peace be upon you all. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.